This is a beginner and casual guide for Destruction Warlock in The War Within Season 3. If you want my UI, you can get it on Patreon, excluding these big old bars. This is for the tutorial. On the left, this is our highest priority. On the right is our lowest priority for the rotation. So let's get started, shall we? So number one, on single target, we want to maintain Immolate on our target at all times. It's going to burn the target and then deal damage over 21 seconds. Now, the periodic damage from this spell is going to generate a soul shard fragment and has a small chance, well, a big chance actually, to generate another if it does the critical strike. So what's a soul shard fragment? That is this here. You can see I've got nearly 4 out of 5 soul shards. And that is one of the main resources we're going to be using as a Destruction Warlock. Number two, how are we spending them? Well, sometimes we'll be spending those soul shards on Shadow Burn. Blasts the target for Shadow Flame damage, gaining 100% critical strike chance if the target has low health. It will actually restore a soul shard and refund a charge if they die within 5 seconds of using the spell. We're going to use this on cooldown, and we can use it when we're on the move as well, as it has quite a quick recharge rate. Now, if you're about to cap on soul shards, like I am right here, you can see I've now got 5 soul shards, we're going to want to use Chaos Bolt. That's going to cost us 2 soul shards, unleashing a devastating blast of chaos, dealing a critical strike for loads of chaos damage. It's further increased by our critical strike chance as well. So we're only using it here in the rotation if we're about to cap on soul shards. Then we have Soulfire. This is on a 45-second cooldown, and you're going to use this whenever available, as long as you have less than 4 soul shards. Because it generates an entire soul shard, and we don't want to overcap and waste that one that it generates, therefore only use it when you have 4 or below soul shards. Then we have Conflagrate. This is going to do some fire damage and reduce the cast time of our next Chaos Bolt by 30%, and generate some charges. We're using this basically here in order to get that reduced cast time, but also because we don't want to cap out on charges and be wasting it. So this should always be recharging at least 1 stack, as you can see here. After that, we are going to be using Chaos Bolt. Obviously, we're using it here if we're nearly capping on soul shards. We're using it here to keep up a specific buff on our target, however, and that is this one here, Eradication. Damage taken from the Warlock is increased by 5%, and that comes from using our Chaos Bolt on the enemy. We want to try and keep that up at all times if possible. And apart from that, we're going to use Incinerate, as our filler spell if we have nothing else to press to generate soul shards. So again, keep up Immolate at all times on your target. Use Shadow Burn on cooldown. Use your Chaos Bolt or Ruination from your hero talents when you're about to cap on soul shards. Use Soulfire whenever available, as long as you have 4 or less soul shards available. Don't ever let your Conflagrate cap out. Always make sure it's recharging. And then we're going to be using Chaos Bolt to keep up the Eradication buff on our target. After that, we're pretty much using Incinerate as our filler spell if we have nothing else left to press. Apart from that, we have Summon Infernal. This is our main cooldown. Use this pretty much on cooldown. It'll do loads of damage, stuns the enemies when it falls, deals damage to all nearing enemies, and generates 1 soul shard every 1 second. So do be aware of that soul shards that it's going to generate. You want to make sure that you actually have time to use these soul shards, as you're still going to be generating soul shards from the other parts of your rotation while doing it. Sometimes your Incinerate will turn into an upgraded version as well. Doesn't really change the point in the rotation where we're using it. But that is the single target rotation. Moving over into the Mythic Plus or AoE rotation, you can see we are going into Hellcaller. Don't worry, it doesn't really change too much here in the rotation we're doing. The main thing we'll be doing is maintaining Immolate, or now Wither, on our target. That's right, the hero talents change our Immolate into Wither on our target. Now, when you go into combat, the main way you're going to do this, because you may be obviously up against multiple targets in AoE, is using Cataclysm. So this basically fires down a meteor and will put Wither onto all nearby enemies. If there is 3 or more targets, I should actually move this up to here, then we can use Rain of Fire. This is going to cost 3 soul shards and will do massive AoE in the location. Only use this if you've got 3 or more targets, as it is quite expensive and we don't want to waste it. So obviously we've got Wither on all of our targets. We want to keep this up on all of our targets, mainly using Cataclysm. So what we're then going to do is channel Demon Fire. This will launch bolts of Hellfire at random targets that are affected by your Wither. Each bolt does fire damage to the target and to nearby enemies, but you can only use it to targets affected by your Wither spell. And then after that, we're going to be using Conflagrate to generate soul shards. We're going to be then using Incinerate as your filler still to generate soul shards as well. And then again, using our Summon Infernal as our main cooldown. We also do have Malevolence, dark magic corrupting from you, corrupting your soul. Basically, enemies that are suffering, again, from your Wither, which you're going to mainly use with Cataclysm, will take a lot of damage and it'll increase the stack count of Wither on your target. As you can see, there's 7 stacks on there. It will ramp up in stacks. While corrupted, your haste is also increased, and spending soul shards on damaging spells grants an additional stack of Wither. And that's pretty much it. We do also have a few utilities I want to take you over, like Burning Rush, where you can basically take damage, but you will actually also be sped up. We have Dark Pact, sacrificing a small amount of health to give you a massive shield. Soulstone can be used to actually store your soul to either you or an ally, meaning you can get a battle res in combat and resurrect yourselves. Unending Resolve reduces damage we take as well. And those are the main utilities I want to take you over. One other small thing I want to mention in the talents, and you should be going through these on your own when you're more comfortable with the rotation, is Roaring Blaze. Your Conflagrate will actually increase your Soulfire, Channel Demon Fire, Wither and Incinerate and Conflagrate damage to the target by 25% for 8 seconds. It's already happening, but it's really valuable that you do know about that specific one as well. So when you're more comfortable, like I said, go through all of the talents, etc. Maybe even use a single button assistant, which you can use to, see the actual rotation in action before your eyes, which may help you get to know it a bit more. If you want to see other specs and classes, check the playlist on screen and don't forget to subscribe.